Welcome to Behind the Badge with your special guest, Lieutenant Williams, your news source for all things police in the city of Fond du Lac.
Welcome back into Fond du Lac today on News Talk 1450 and 100.7 KFIZ. It's now time for Behind the Badge. We got Lieutenant Williams in the studio. Thanks for joining us, Lieutenant. Brought a couple friends today.
I did. Since we were without Officer Clapper, I thought I'd bring one of our new CSOs and then one of our other CSOs who wasn't on the show yet. I thought I brought them all on here. There's been a group that's not been on here, so we're definitely gonna introduce them. And we have a CSO that's been with us for a while, Cameron Matson, with us. And then brand new CSO, Isaiah Schlagel. So Cameron, tell everybody about yourself.
Hi, I'm Cameron Matson. I've been a CSO since last November, I want to say.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm from northwestern Wisconsin, so I'm about 5 hours away from home. I go to Marion, and I'm currently going to graduate this May.
And what brought you to Marion College and eventually working with Lieutenant Williams?
It's always been a dream to work kind of in the law enforcement type of thing. Marion dropped me in with the Homeland Security degree.
And you said you're graduating in May. What's your goal after you graduate?
I'm gonna move back home. I'm looking at jobs in Minneapolis right now.
So you don't want to work at the Fond du Lac Police Department afterwards, after you graduated?
No, I want to move back home, closer to some friends and family.
Definitely can't blame you for that one. Well, appreciate you being a CSO for the time being. Like you said, the last year, what got you first interested in wanting to be a part of the program?
I think it was a very interesting opportunity that got brought up to me while I was at college. And I thought I might as well apply and try to get some experience in before I hit the real world.
Gotcha. You mentioned hitting the real world, May's when you're graduating. You got any leads for new jobs whenever you're graduated?
I've been looking. It's getting really real right now. Yeah, I've been looking at jobs and kind of reaching out to some people.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you. And it sounds like Lieutenant Williams will still have you for, another 5 months or so?
Yeah, we might still be able to convince her to stick around, but she says she does enjoy work, so yeah, well, we'll see. But then we also, so she's training right now. We have our CSOs, our seasoned CSOs, because CSOs usually they usually don't work more than 2 years because they end up graduating. Sometimes we hire them, sometimes they move back to Clear Lake, which is 5 hours away. But so that usually it's like a two year span. But so she is training Isaiah over here. So Isaiah, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Isaiah Schlagel. I started working as a CSO at the Fond du Lac Police Department a couple weeks ago. I started after going through the police officer selection process, and Lieutenant Williams recommended that I start as a CSO to have a better chance of being offered a job as a police officer. I'm from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin.
So one of the things that we do is we get people to come to our process and we think, they'd be a really good officer. They probably just need a little bit more experience. And one great way to get experience is through our CSO program, because you're basically doing the same reports that our officers do. You're taking a lot of the same calls. Now they're not have the danger factor. Obviously, we want to keep our CSOs safe. They don't have weapons and stuff like that. But you're taking theft complaints. You're taking vandalism complaints. You're directing traffic, you're working a lot of community events, special events and stuff like that. So even if you work for us or you work for another department, the job is a great experience that you can either talk about, put on your resume, and say, hey, yeah, I did all this stuff. Like I've been in the minor leagues for an officer for a while and I'm ready to move on. So.
And you mentioned, is the end goal to be a police officer then?
Yes, it is.
Here in Fond du Lac, or is that something Lieutenant Williams is working for? Or do you want to be a little bit closer to home? You mentioned you're from the Beaver Dam area.
Right now, I'm kind of just waiting to see who offers me a job. I would love to work at the Fond du Lac Police Department, but we just have to see what happens.
Definitely makes sense there. Lieutenant Williams, it sounds like he's ready to commit. You just got to put the full court press on.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on it. So, I'm not in control of everything. So, we definitely are seeing some promising things, and it's a great way to kind of get more looks at someone, and hopefully that's what it's going to happen. So.
You mentioned hiring, right? 2 weeks ago, we talked about the video that you guys released. The public reaction to your Quick Trip video, how's it been?
It's actually been outstanding, and our YouTube, we actually have more subscribers now, so that's good. It's not just 6 people, so thank all you guys that are following us now. The video it's just under 6,000 views right now, so it's kind of made its circles through police communities, which is kind of cool. I've been contacted by people that have been in like leaders of police organization schools, which is like that's a really high class for things, and they kind of use it as an example of what to do as far as an agency to get out there and be creative. I've been contacted by several people that are interested in employment. We do have a hiring process that's starting November 9th is the written verbal test. So if there's anybody out there listening to this and they want to get their applications in, get them in, fdlpolice.com, or you can watch the video again. All the information's on there as well. Or contact me, Lieutenant Williams at the Fond du Lac Police Department.
Awesome, sounds good. Let's circle back to the CSOs, right? CSO, you mentioned it's kind of like the minor leagues for someone that might want to be an officer one of these days. So what does a day look like for a CSO?
And you guys can join in if you can grab the mic from me anytime. Basically they come in, depending on when they start. Like I have some CSOs that start early in the morning, which is great because they do a lot of we would call them squad shuffles, but there's always squads that need maintenance. So they're kind of running squads back and forth from us to the city garage, which is very helpful because I'm only one person and it's hard to run back and forth. They usually handle that, but they'll call in. They also do fingerprinting. So I believe when Cameron started today, she was assigned to fingerprinting. So everyone that gets arrested on certain crimes or whatever, they get court ordered to get fingerprints. So we have to schedule certain blocks, usually twice a week, where we do fingerprinting. We also are slated by the city to do 20 hours total of parking enforcement a week. So probably my number one complaints is parking. People complain about parking, I get it. But it's the downtown district that wants us to do at least 20 hours a week. So they get out there and do parking, and then they take calls. And we were actually busy today, but they take a normal call load. So anything that's like lower priority or a crime that doesn't have a suspect, they can take that call. So a lot of abandoned bikes, a lot of abandoned vehicles, theft complaints, vandalism complaints, some like dog complaints or whatever, things like that. Any other things I'm missing, Cameron?
We also respond to car accidents, fire calls if they need help with like traffic control, blocking off roads. I think that's it.
So yeah, they're pretty recognizable. They're in like the powder blue, like kind of like our retro uniforms. So they might not be able to answer all of, like if you have police questions, they might not know, but they can direct you to the source where that information is. And they're all doing this as kind of like an internship. So if you do see them out there, don't hassle them. They are ordered to write parking tickets, so be nice to them, please, when you're out there.
This is Behind the Badge this morning on KFIZ. Appreciate everybody joining us, listening to us. As we move ahead, you mentioned dealing with parking. Has the date been decided for when winter parking will begin?
Yes, that is great. November 15th to March 15th. Every year it's the same parking restrictions. We are actually going to be, I haven't even told these guys yet, but I will be authorizing them to come in if they want to and get the green notice. Like we have these warning cards that explain the whole winter parking ordinance, and we like to get out beforehand and placard as many cars as possible just so everybody's in the know about it. And I will be taking thousands and thousands of complaints once it does start. The reason why we do it, people say, well, why don't you just do it when it snows out? The reason is because it's too late. We have plow trucks that are trying to get down roads and they can't. And then what they want us to do is like tow vehicles because they can't get certain equipment. And what would you rather have, a parking ticket or a vehicle that's towed? Well, it's about $150 difference there. So
And you gotta find a way to get to your vehicle.
yes, exactly. So we really just want compliance with the ordinance. And it's not that hard. I know some people like they can't fit all their vehicles in the driveway, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But we just want compliance to the statute. It's not like we're earning revenue, or we get to go out for a steak dinner because we write so many parking tickets. That's not the case at all. We just want compliance because when that first snowfall happens, and it's usually between that area of November 15th and March 15th, we want, yeah, exactly. We want that compliance so that we don't have to tow your vehicles, and so that our city garage can get their plow trucks down all the roads.
Awesome. Again, that's just 11 days away, so we want to run through that real fast. What odd day you park on?
Yeah, so the general rule is this. It really matters what day it is at 8 p.m. So at 8 p.m., like at 8 p.m., if it is an odd number day, then you must park on the odd side. If it's an even number day, you must park on the even side. So and that is enforced from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Now you have from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. to move to the correct side. So you have 12 hours to move your vehicle, but you have 12 hours where there's strict enforcement. So it's just something to really know, and people will still not understand it. And usually when if they do get a parking ticket, the best way to if they want to appeal it is to do it online. We have a system where they can do it instead of calling me and me answering 5 to 15 messages a day. It's a lot easier if they do it online. I'll usually remind them of the ordinance, and we can take it from there. And it's a case by case basis. Now, if you've been warned like a couple times for the same thing, I'm probably just going to enforce the ticket. But if you're from out of town or something like that, it's a one-time thing. And I can look that all up, and we can enforce accordingly.
Awesome, sounds good. And as we get closer to that 15th day, maybe next week we can go more details about this, or maybe further down the road. Lieutenant Williams, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for bringing your friends.
Wait, one more thing.
Okay.
I do have the record for most written parking tickets in a shift. That's my claim to fame.
Oh, you have the guy that's written
When
those.
when I was on night shift many years ago, I always challenged myself to write as many winter ordinance tickets as I could, and I tried to beat it every year, and the record right now is 150 tickets.
150 tickets in
Yes.
one night.
Yes.
Wow.
And I don't know why I did it, but
Because you wanted that lobster dinner. You don't get steak dinner, you get lobster
it's all
dinners.
about compliance. So we just want people to park on the right side, so it makes it easier for our plow trucks. So.
For sure. Thanks for stopping by. This has been Behind the Badge on KFIZ.